Hello, people of the internet. My name is Leo, and welcome back to Dream Daddy. Now, we are getting really close to the ending here. We just have Damien and Hugo. That's all we have left. So let's just jump right in, you know? Alright, we'll give Damien a good old message, see what this vampire man is up to, just see how it is. Always check the card reader or ATMs before you swipe. Noted. Alright, the game is inevitably... Yep, there it is. It's not responding. Whenever I do this, it always does this. Alright. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Damien the other day. Wonder what he's up to. I open up Dad Book and start writing him a message when Amanda walks in the door. Dad, you got a letter. Oh, is it from Grandma? No, it's from Damien. Whoa. Can I see it? Amanda hands me a piece of old parchment, folded into an envelope and sealed with purple wax. Darn, this dude goes all out. He does things the old-fashioned way, I guess. I pry off the seal and unfold the letter. In the most beautiful calligraphy, the letter reads, Jesus, how much effort does this guy put into his letters? Dearest Ram, I hope you'll find my continued correspondence endearing, rather than trying. One can only hope that my use of the slower, more traditional form of communication will showcase my sincere and earnest sentiment that I greatly enjoyed our time together. I write this hastily under the warm embrace of excitement, fearful that I may misstep and speak towards something unwelcome. For now, I hope that you might forgive my boldness. I will simply say that your company has greatly occupied my thoughts. While the afternoon may have been derailed by forces unseen, your companionship helped a great deal, not only in the discipline of my child, but in the morale of my spirit. And for that, I thank you. That said, Ram, if you'll allow me, it would mean the world to me if I could enjoy more of your time. Perhaps a trip to the cinema followed by a moonlit stroll would be to your taste. I eagerly await your response. With great respect, Damien Bloodmarch. Jeez. I'm intimidated. Okay, Amanda and I both look up from the letter. Wow, he's good. So you gonna catch a movie with him? Yeah, I better message him on Dad Book and let him know. Amanda slaps my laptop shut. No, Ram, he sent you a letter. He sent you snail mail. You have to send snail mail back, alright? You have to write him back a real letter. But my handwriting looks like two toddlers fighting over a crayon. Well, I would say same, but I can't. I have very good handwriting. According to me. Dad, you have to. He wrote you a letter. That's so cool. Will you help me? I need to class this up. Father, I was made for this. Here's what you do. Find tickets to a show that you two will like, then enclose them in the letter. Well, that's classy. Amanda and I hop onto my laptop and peruse showtimes. He doesn't seem like a romantic comedy kind of guy.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one. Vampire Crusade 2? Evil Never Dies. What if he hasn't seen Vampire Crusade 1? I don't know, that sounds kind of stupid. And also, a bit like we're labeling him as a vampire, which... totally, he's not a vampire. Actually, it's a critically acclaimed exploration into the NUI... What? Okay, I do not know that word. Of existence. It really turns the vampire trope on its head. Alright, I'm interested. Really? Nah, there's just lots of blood and vampire tied. Oh, I'm not saying that word. Well, but let's roll the dice. I purchase the tickets and print them out, then sit down at the table with Amanda to try drafting a nice letter. I start writing. Damien, I do hope that this letter finds you in good health, and in a prosperous enough position to put wealth in the pockets of people like me down on their luck. Good morrow to you on this fine evening. Not sure if that checks out, but it looks fine to me. What's next? Hey, remember when your son tried to cask of Amontillado, that kid? You been good? I must confess of my amateur control of the written word. Jeez, Dad, have some faith in yourself. Okay, we're trucking along. Let him know how you're feeling. You find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. I did very much enjoy the adventure we found ourselves in the last we met. That Ernest crap was pretty messed up. You find me in good spirits? Nice. Ask him to hang out already. True art takes time, Amanda. That's why I'm not an artist. It takes me like an hour to draw something. I don't spend weeks on a piece, alright? Okay, while a strange turn of events, I found myself enamored of the situation at hand. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I found myself lost in your details. Let me get at that. While a strange turn of events. Bring it home, Pops. Let me take you out. I got 2 tickets to the movies. I would very much enjoy your company. Accompanying me to the cinema. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema.
Yeah.
Smooth. Calling it the cinema is a classy move. Yeah, El Cine. Enclosed you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you will find both titillating and enjoyable. Best wishes, hard daps. Namaste. We'll carry on. We'll carry on. And then I sign my name. My full name. Fancier that way. What's your middle name? Did we ever decide on a middle name for you, Ramkirk? Ramkirk. Quotation marks?
Eh?
What? Wait, excuse me? No, I did not. There's, like, no way that I put quotation marks at the end of my last name. Is this okay? Amanda reads over my sloppy handwriting. It's not that bad. I can actually read it. Yeah, come on. Come on. What? I didn't even... Did I spell it with an A? It's with an E, isn't it? You spelled his name wrong. What? Nah, just trying to keep you up on your toes. Now, all you have to do is seal it and put it in his mailbox. Can I seal it with tape?
Alright.
That's not authentic enough. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Go steal his wax. Amanda leaves the room and returns with a candle, a lighter, and a small piece of wood. Smart. You gotta have a wax seal. She lights the candle, which starts to burn down and form a pool of melted wax. I wonder what that candle smells like. Perhaps pumpkin? It is autumn, this season of pumpkins. What's that other thing? Amanda pours some of the wax onto the folded letter and expertly presses the small piece of wood into it. She lets it dry for a second and pulls the wood away, revealing... Here it is, your sigil. A little kitten with a bow on its head. Awesome! Oh yeah, totally my sigil. Keeping this forever. Scrapbooking stuff always comes in clutch. Well, I guess all there is to do is deliver it to his doorstep now, huh? Oh, I thought we were getting a carrier pigeon to do it. I already called my guy. Okay, why do you have a carrier pigeon guy? I have a pigeon guy. Marcus has the good pigeons. Again, why? Don't get your pigeons from Anthony. They're no good. I don't want to know if any of this is true. I don't need to know that my daughter is sending out letters via carrier pigeon. I head outside and walk over to Damien's house. I shouldn't say that. I slip the letter into the slot in his door and go back home. Mission accomplished? Now we play the waiting game. The night finally rolls around where I'm supposed to meet with Damien. The next day, he had left another beautifully crafted letter thanking me for mine and agreeing to the evening. Amanda helps me pick out a nice outfit, and I show up to the theater a little bit early. It's a chilly night, and the theater is kind of crowded, but it's still nice. How do you do? Without a question mark. I jump at the sound of his voice and turn around to see Damien right behind me. Oh man, that was quite a bit of thunder. He almost gave me a heart attack. How long were you there for? Well, I don't know. I just walked up. My apologies for frightening you. Was that thunder? Is it gonna rain soon? I didn't hear anything. What?
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 Oh, no.
Regardless, the hour grows close. Shall we take our seats in the cinema? I must thank you again for purchasing our tickets.
Oh.
Please, allow me to repay the deed in Sour Patch Kids or perhaps Milk Duds. Let's do it. We get in line to buy snacks. As we're waiting, I hear a familiar voice behind us. Ugh, my dad's here. Turn around to find Lucian standing a few feet behind us with a gaggle of other goth kids. Lucian, how nice to see you. I didn't know you were coming to the theater. I'm glad to see you spending some quality time with your friends. Whatever, Dad. And what movie will you be attending tonight? My friends are making me see some kids' movie about talking animals. I don't really care about it. Oh. Well, I do hope you enjoy your evening. We'll be watching Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies.
Aye.
You watching that? Yeah, I thought Damien would enjoy it.
Huh.
Good luck with that, Dad. Lucian rejoins his friends, and I look over to Damien. Good luck with what? It's not going to be historically accurate, is it? It's just going to be your average vampire movie, which is not what he's going to like. Hey, it's nothing. My son loves to tease. We wait in line for a little longer, and Damien buys us snacks. He seems a little nervous. Wonder what's wrong.
Huh.
Damien and I take our seats and settle in for previews. Glancing at him, I can see that he's sweating profusely and gripping his armrest. Is everything okay? Vampires, huh? The movie hasn't even started yet. Is everything okay? Everything is perfectly fine.
Huh.
I am so excited for this film. I'm a devoted patron of the arts, especially the scary arts. The scarier the art, the better. Do you have a favorite horror movie? Of course I have a favorite horror movie. Mine is Halloween Town. Terrifying. Do you mean The Nightmare Before Christmas? Crap, was The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? I'm pretty sure it's a Christmas movie. But it was either released right before Christmas or right before Halloween. And it's officially the movie of the holiday that came out just before. Fairly certain it's Christmas. Oh, interesting.
Huh.
That's odd. Don't seem to remember Halloween Town being that scary. Would have expected him to bring up some sort of strange foreign horror film that I've never heard of. I have a feeling that this guy, Damien, he's not a fan of scary things. Damien's knuckles are turning white. Looks like he's about to rip the armrest off. Wait a second. Damien, are you afraid of horror movies?
Ah!
You must be joking. I love horror movies. The lights dim for the film.
Ah!
Damien screams. That scream. Who voices Damien again? I forget who voices Damien, but that was a wonderful scream. I apologize. I was thinking about something far scarier than this movie, which is not scary at all. We settle in as the film starts. I offer Damien some licorice, and he takes one. I take note of how much his hands are shaking.
Ah!
The title flashes across the screen in bloody letters, Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies. Damien, I understand your pain. Whenever I watch horror movies with my dad, he always tries to scare me. It's not a good time.
Huh.
A pale man with long silver hair, glittering red eyes, and well-oiled abs sits up in a coffin. Why well-oiled abs? Romulus Bad Blood? Awaken my coven. Two more vampires slide the tops of their stone coffins onto the floor. Brother, is it time? Yes, husband, but also mortal enemy. It is time. The three look at each other and then to the camera. For the Vampire Crusade. This rules. The trio of vampires flies off into the night as foreboding organ music plays in the distance. So far, this film seems kind of cheesy and corny. I somehow get lost in the movie. As dumb as it sounded, it's actually a pretty fun flick. Like, I guess you can't knock it till you try it. We get to a tense moment of the movie where Romulus Trueblood sits at a truce meeting with the general of the human army, whose wife Romulus has fallen in love with. Oh, drama. Romulus, it was good to finally meet you. General, I agree. It's good to finally blood, you!
I...
Romulus leaps out and slashes the general's throat. Blood splatters over everything, including the camera. Damien screams again, reflexively grasping my hand. I immediately blush, forgetting about any vampires or blood or vampiric blood. But you're literally right next to a vampire. I'm terribly sorry. Damien retracts his hand and places it back in his lap. I was writing a novel in my head about blood magic, and I got to an extremely scary section. Damien goes back to quietly stressing out over the movie. It's kind of cute that he won't admit that he's afraid of it. I wish he would hold my hand again. Maybe I could do something to try to make him feel more comfortable. I've got it! I'll do what all dads do best. Talk during the movie? No. Ram, don't you dare. I don't care if this is the worst movie in the world. I don't care if it's the most boring movie in the world. Do not talk. Ask what's happening. Point out plot hole. I tell a dad joke. He's gonna like telling a dad joke because it gets us away from the movie. Where does a dog go when it loses its tail?
What?
Where? To the retail store. I yell that last bit a little too loud for a crowded movie theater, but I can see a smile form on Damien's face. We're gonna get kicked out and banned from the movie theater. Just a good one, Ram. The rest of the movie goes by relatively smoothly, with only a few whimpers from Damien. Maybe he would have liked the romantic comedy better. Yeah, you know what? He probably would have. We get to the final scene of the movie where Romulus Badblood and the General's wife embrace each other in his crypt. It appears that the true vampire crusade was the vampire crusade in our hearts, our cold, unbeating hearts. Romulus and the General's wife begin making out. Hard. Ugh. The film fades to black and the end appears on the screen. Then it hard cuts to Demetrius and his rival lover Carmela, who watch the two from afar. Oh no, twist ending. Our bloodline has been pure for 1,000 years. Romulus has betrayed us by loving a human woman. It will only be a short time before the next Vampire Crusade 3, evil must die again. More thunder, more ominous organs. The movie fades out again and a bloody question mark now accompanies the end. That's not the kind of film where you'd want to say the title and god dang it. That movie. It's killing me. Damien and I walk out of the movie theater amidst throngs of chattering moviegoers. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise he survived the encounter. He even seems kind of invigorated. What an interesting film. While the premise admittedly struck me as pedestrian, I was intrigued by its harrowing love story and great attention to detail in regards to vampiric lore. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot more vampiric than I thought there would be. Come, the night is young. Let's take a stroll. Damien is making a point of not telling me where he's taking me. Still, I'm enjoying the walk and the cool night air. Being alone here with Damien is a lot better than being in a crowded theater. Are we going to the bar, Kim's and Jim's? Because we always see this scene right before we go to Kim's and Jim's. Lovely night, isn't it? Except I can still see the sun shining. As lovely as the company, yes. He thinks I'm lovely. Darn, okay. Here comes the smooth response. Thanks. Cool. Okay. Thanks. No problem. Crushed it. You both stand there feeling a little awkward. Sure, I'm one smooth operator. You getting a little hungry? We could maybe stop off and grab something to eat. Worry not, friend. I've a plan. We turn the corner and are greeted by the gates of a cemetery. What? Oh no. He's going to eat me. He's going to drink my blood. Oh no. Are we going in there? A little bit of Victorian flavor, trust me. I don't trust you, Damien. I don't trust this. I'm a bit nervous, but Damien hasn't led me wrong yet. I follow his lead as we walk into the cemetery. Statues of the angels stare down at us as we follow a path through the faded tombstones. As we crest a small hill, we get a beautiful view of the city. The nightlights sparkle around us. I gotta hand it to him for being in a cemetery. This is strangely romantic. Picnicking in graveyards is an old Victorian tradition. An appropriate finish to an evening after a vampire movie, wouldn't you say? With a flourish, Damien produces a blanket and picnic basket. Where were you hiding those? Wait, where were you hiding that? Under my cloak? Oh, right. I don't think your cloak would be able to hide that for an entire freaking movie. Damien unfolds the blanket and we both sit down, gazing out at the city lights. He produces a bottle of red wine and a fine selection of cheeses. In the Victorian era, there were no public art galleries, parks, or botanical gardens to speak of. Once the rural graveyards became a more popular alternative to church burials, they became the only place that people could see beautiful plant life and fine sculptures. That makes sense. This is pretty nice. I have a question, though. How are you so okay with being in a graveyard? You had trouble handling a scary movie. I wasn't. He sighs deeply. Okay, yes, I was extremely scared by that movie. I was not writing a book about blood magic in my head. I just have never been good at those. I just feel as if, because of how I look and act, people expect me to love horror films, so I must play the part. Truth be told, I don't know if I have the constitution for them at times. Damien, I'm so sorry. If I'd known, I would have suggested another movie. It's quite alright. I actually did find myself enjoying this one, thanks to your help. Graveyards, however, I think there's something rather beautiful about death. Cemeteries are traditionally built away from cities, away from the realm of the living, and it keeps us rather separated from it. To acknowledge death and become comfortable with it, I think, gives us a certain intimate knowledge of ourselves. They sit amongst generations of those who came before us. To be truly alive in the midst of so much death brings me great comfort. Death helps me appreciate life, to savor every second. We sit and enjoy our food and wine. I don't feel scared anymore. Never thought I'd be comfortable sitting alone in a graveyard at night, but I actually feel very peaceful. Suddenly it doesn't seem like we're alone. Off in the distance I see a shadowy figure in the trees. What is that? I am not sure. It noticed us. I'm paralyzed with fear as it begins lumbering slowly toward us, its shape taking a more animal form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature is getting closer, moving faster. Oh, wolf! Oh. It's a dog. As it finally comes to the... Oh my god. As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, dumbest little Boston Terrier I've ever seen pulls its owner towards us. Oh, it already has an owner. The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily. What a beautiful dog. Hey. We both look up, not expecting to see... Thanks. Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening? Hunting cryptids. Wait, what? Hunting cryptids? Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? What? What? I didn't know you had a dog.
Hey.
This isn't my dog. Found her wandering the street, put a leash on her, and now we're walking around this graveyard together. Hunting cryptids. Damien and I share a look. May I give her a treat? Sure. Wouldn't give her cheese, though.
Hey.
Not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? How is he keeping it in there? The dog laps up to the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down her fur. Thanks. My absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw. Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. I didn't know you liked dogs. Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog such as a terrier or a Maltese. I believe I knew that. I think big dogs are nice too. Yeah, man, dogs are cool. I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. Let's say we make our way home. Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it as my knees aren't what they used to be. He packs up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin to walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me to my doorstep. Thank you ever so kindly for your company tonight. Damien, it was my pleasure. Ram, if you'll allow me, it would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded, monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Wow, thank you, Damien. I will use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. Can't wait to sneeze on this. I'm gonna wave this at passing ships. Alright. A noble purpose. The eggplants, yes. Damien shuffles his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you, someone who's open to my eccentricities. It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. I unlock the door and step inside.
Whoa!
Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. Hey, Dad, what's up? Were you watching me from the window? No, I was just, Okay, yes, how was the movie? Lots of vampire women. Told you. But as it turns out, Damien is scared. Wait, Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool. Yep, he's so cool. It is scary. Nice save, Ram. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Yeah, you are. Wow, that's pretty punk. Also, we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute, though.
Yeah.
How can you be so sure it wasn't a werewolf? How can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. Nor I you. We make intense, wary eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling it for the night. Don't stay up too late, will you? I'll try not to howl at the moon past midnight. Ooh, always bring a war chest. What? Alright. Wait, Dad nap, automated care, goth, bat, camp, cemetery, horror. Did I do good? Yes!
Are you familiar with the works of Corey Feldman? He simply slayed in The Lost Boys.
He simply slayed. Alright. Interview with the vampire.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You got dads.
Gotta say, Damien, that's pretty neat. Like what you got going on there. Anyway, we're gonna do our routine deletion of all this crap. Just so we can do Hugo at the end. Alright. Damien? Alright. I can commit. You can save bookmarks directly to your desktop. Who says I want to? It's better to be early than late. Well, I'd rather be late to my own funeral than early to it. Ever since we had that picnic in the graveyard... Oh, speaking of... Damien and I have been spending a lot of time together. We go on nighttime strolls pretty regularly. You know, something I've noticed is that all of these third dates always start with, Blank and I have been spending a lot of time together. Yeah, of course. He was so impressed with the first letter I wrote him that he insisted we only communicate by post instead of through Dadbook. I initially protested, but he gave me one of his old signet rings to use as a seal for my letters, and I just couldn't say no. Oh, man. Okay. Hugo better top this, because Damien is being the true gentleman. Hanging out with that goth dad again? Please, Amanda, you know his name. And yes,
Oh.
be honest with me here, Pops. Is he actually a vampire? I remember you inviting him into our household that one time, and I've seen the Lost Boys, and I honestly would have preferred trying to see if he could have walked through the threshold of our home under his own power. Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's familiar. I'm compelled under his curse. I'm sorry, sweetie. But now I must sacrifice you to the good Lord Satan.
Oh.
Turn into a bat. I don't think...
Oh.
What's the point of being a vampire if you can't turn into a bat? Well, okay, I'm off. Are you taking the car, or are you flying off into the night on the leathery wings of a bat? One of those. While I'm out, can you throw away the garlic bread that's in the freezer so I don't die? That would be great. I'm keeping it there as insurance. You understand, right? That's my girl. Alright. Damien and I walk along the water's edge, chatting. Damien's cloak. He hates it when people call it a cape. Damien's cloak flutters behind him in the breeze. This is going to seem like a silly question, but why did goths wear black? A gothic subculture has always been associated with death, so it would make sense that the style surrounding it would be greatly influenced by mourning. Interestingly enough, though, was that in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria herself mourned the death of her late husband for 10 whole years, wearing black for the rest of her life. If that's not goth, I don't know what is. I have another question. Go ahead. How are you so comfortable with death? You mentioned in the graveyard that it helps you appreciate your life or something.
Oh, no.
I've experienced several losses over the course of my life, and I truly believe that the only manageable way to cope with it is to accept that death is simply a part of living. It's the single universal truth for every human who has ever lived. I'm going to die, you are going to die, and life carries on without us until the inevitable heat death of the universe. Doesn't that make you feel scared? Not at all. Without the advances of modern science, death was everywhere in the Victorian era, and yet funerals were major social functions. Victorians were obsessed with mementos of their loved ones, even going so far as to take elaborately staged photographs of their dead relatives. The minutiae of mourning was so complex that there were set periods of grieving that were deemed acceptable based on who in your life had passed. And now, we don't have any of that. If you lose someone, you end up feeling lost yourself, because we have no modern equivalent of those formalities. We need to allow ourselves time to grieve, to feel that loss fully, but not allow it to consume us. So no, I'm not afraid of death. I believe it is a waste to spend your life dreading the end of it. The time we have here is brief and fleeting and occasionally cruel, but it is at all times precious. To stare death in the face and live despite that, I think, is a noble existence. Let's save the mourning for the dead. Wow, that's beautiful. I can see the moonlight in the bay glint off of Damien's eyes. He smiles. We turn to the harbor and watch ships pass, breathing in the salty sea air. I look to Damien again and can't help but be entranced by his charm, his mystery. I find everything about him so fascinating. I lean in closer to Damien, closing my eyes as I do so. I'm so sorry. I have to take this. Damien steps away from me to answer his phone. I hope it isn't Lucian again. After speaking in hushed tones for a few moments, Damien returns to me. Everything okay?
What?
There's an emergency. Lucian? No, thankfully. I must take my leave. Oh, okay. Is there anything I can do to help? Dads do have to stick together, right? You know it. Then come. There isn't time to waste. Is your house on fire or something? After a short drive in silence, we arrive at a rundown building on the outskirts of town. Where are we? It's better if I just show you. I push the surprisingly heavy door open and find myself in a dimly lit waiting room. A few rickety chairs line the walls, and there doesn't seem to be anyone behind the front desk. There are a few paintings and pictures on the wall, but so nondescript I'm still unsure of what kind of place this even is. This is a vet's office. There's a cat on that thing. There are animal cages. Please tell me that Robert's dog is okay. Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back. Damien walks off down a corridor, his boot heels echoing through the halls of this seemingly empty building. Distant howls echo from someplace I can't see, and there's a faint scratching sound like claws on tile. Cautiously peek down the hall and find stall after stall of scared-looking dogs. A few of them notice me and skitter up to the chain-link fence, sticking their noses through to sniff at the air. Well, maybe this is also a shelter? I don't know. Either a vet or a shelter. What have I gotten myself into? Suddenly the lights shut off. I panic, unsure of where I am or how I can get out. Stumble through the darkness, my breathing getting heavier and heavier. Damien? The lights finally turn back on. Hey, sailor. Mary? What are you doing here?
Ugh.
You aren't here for the fight club? I don't want to get punched in the face.
Ah.
Great, because this is an animal shelter. A what? We take care of stray animals and then people adopt the stray animals. Didn't you see the pets when you walked in? Oh, sorry, I didn't really expect to see you volunteering at an animal shelter.
Ugh.
Wow. Okay, kid, way to put me in a box. Dames, you hear this baloney? Just one moment. Thunder cracks and a door bursts open. Peering from the shadows, I see Damien? Hey, it's Damien. He looks completely different. No cloak, no Victorian-era clothing, no makeup. I wasn't planning to share this side of me until much later, but I'm not as goth as you think. I'm a systems administrator for the IT department of a realty company. I wear tennis shoes to work and I listen to Bruce Springsteen. I enjoy going to the hardware store and looking at storage solutions, and I volunteer at this animal shelter in my spare time. I'm boring. You are not boring, Damien. Every other time I've met you, you've dressed up in Victorian-era clothing. You're not boring. You are way unique. I'm fascinated with Victorian history and the goth lifestyle. That much is true. It's just not all that I am. And I need you to know that. Oh, I hate to kill the moment here, but there's some pressing business that needs attending to. Oh, right. It's Duchess Cordelia. Again? Who's Duchess Cordelia? She's one of the pups. Gets out all the time. She somehow learned how to open doors and now she's unstoppable. When did she get out? This morning. I went to go sing sea shanties to the cats, and when I came back she had already bolted. I have to stay here with the pets, so I need you two to go and find her. Of course. Where could she be? She always ends up running off to the same places. Here, let me draw you a map. Mary starts scribbling on the back of a pet adoption form. She's very smart, ruthless even. You need to stay on your toes and get her back by sundown, or else she turns into a werewolf and starts eating people. I don't believe that, Mary. I would believe that coming from Damien, but not from you. What? You're a perfect little peach, Ram. We just don't want her to be stuck outside when it's cold. Oh, I'll grab some treats and we can hit the road. Damien and I look over the map Mary created for us. Oh man, I am Nerd's house? Oh, she messed up east and west. The ocean or whatever. Smalls, Dames. Other Nerd's house? Mary's sick pad. Oh, Coffee Dad, Kale, Mario Batali. There's the coffee spoon, there's the softball field, the aquarium. There's the shelter. At least you're not other Nerd's house. Looks like you're moving up in the pecking order. Congrats, kiddo. Where should we head first? The cul-de-sac. Coffee spoon. Softball field. Bayside or the aquarium. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna say the softball field. So that seems to be the closest. Damien and I exit the parking lot and start driving towards town. Look over to him. He seems concerned. Shouldn't be too hard to find the Duchess, right? She's a pretty big pup. Mary wasn't kidding when she said that the dog was smart. One time she correctly guessed the winner of the Kentucky Derby. It was a really great year for Bark Bark Bark. I don't know. What do you think our odds are, This'll be easy. Gotta stay positive. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Gotta stay positive. My dad once told me, Ram, you can't shove raisins up your nose. And that hurt my feelings. I felt discouraged, but I kept a positive attitude, and I made it happen. You might have landed me in the ER and forced me to have 10 golden raisins removed from my nasal cavity, but on that day, I learned that anything is possible if you have a good attitude and abnormally large nostrils. Young children really are resilient, I suppose. Yes, young children. I was 16. Let's... Oh my god. Oh my god, I was 16. Round. Let's just hope for the best. We got this. We drive to the softball field. It looks like Craig's team is practicing. Wonder if any of the kids saw something. Craig spots us and jogs over, softball bat slung over his shoulder.
Oh.
Hey bros, what's up? I forgot my voice. Craig, you wouldn't have happened to see a dog around here, have you? One escaped from the animal shelter and we're trying to locate her. I don't think so. Maybe one of the girls saw some. Girls. Hi, Amanda's dad. Hi, Lucian's dad. We have names. Girls, have you seen any dogs around? Yeah, a huge dog ran through here a second ago. You just missed it. We tried to play fetch with her, but she just took the softball and ran. I think she ate it, actually. She was a lot of dog. Here, take another softball. Might come in handy later. Many thanks, Greg. Alright. So, the aquarium. We just ran through here, going generally north. Then the next place would be the aquarium. Damien and I stopped by the aquarium. Everything looks in order here, but it might help to get out of the car and take a look. You seen anything? No dog here. Not even any sign of her. Did you know that penguins are considered the goths of the sea? Damien, I want to believe you so badly. Coffee spoon? We park in front of Matt's coffee shop and walk inside. Seems like a slow day. Matt sits behind the counter, reading a book. Hey, Matt!
Hey.
Didn't expect to see you. Didn't expect to see you two today. What's up? Forgot my voice, too. I forget everyone. Have you seen any stray dogs around? Can't say I have. You looking for one? Can you describe him to me? Enormous. That pretty well covers it.
Hey.
Cool. I find strays taken for food scraps in the alley out back sometimes. I'll be sure to keep an eye out. Head back to the car. Bayside? We arrived back at the Bayside. Just like old times, eh? I remember it as if it were yesterday. I mean, earlier today. So what do you think? Any sight of the pooch? None yet, though who knows if she made it onto any of those ships. The Duchess would do that? I wouldn't put it past her to know how to navigate in rough seas without a compass. Very smart. Pops? Damien and I turned to see my daughter. What are you doing here? Amanda! What are you doing here? Did you think I just stayed inside all day vegging out on the couch and watching TV? Oh, sorry. What are you doing? I'm heading home to go veg out on the couch and watch TV. Had to get a burrito first. Young miss, have you seen a dog around here? Yeah. Oh, you bet. I saw a Pomeranian with a bow around its neck. I saw a big old Doberman named Henry. There was a stroller full of Yorkies, a Greyhound, a Golden Retriever. Did you see a Mastiff anywhere? No dice. I would definitely have remembered that. I gotta run, though. This burrito is about 10 minutes before the cheese breaks down the molecular structure of the tortilla. It makes it all soggy. You understand. I do? Of course. Have a lovely evening, Miss Kirk. I fear that the hours are growing short. You must make haste if we're to... Oh, wait. I fear that the hours are growing short. You must make haste if we're to find the Duchess by sundown. Eamon's looking more stressed out by the minute. Gotta think of something to lighten the mood. What kind of dog does a vampire have? Knock knock. How many goths does it take to screw in a light bulb? What kind of dog does a vampire have? I would imagine it would be unwise for a vampire to take up the company of a smaller mammal for the means of companionship. It would be too tempting to... A bloodhound! I was gonna say bloodhound, Damien. Oh, yes. Jeez. I keep reading Damien's directions. Oh, I keep reading Damien directions from the map as we drive around town. Has to be the cul-de-sac then. We drive through the cul-de-sac and everything seems to be pretty normal. Looks like Brian's doing some yard work. Pull into Brian's driveway and hop out.
Hey, don't step on the grass, I just mowed.
Have you seen any unusual activity in the area today?
Aside from your underwatered lawn?
Oh, here we go. How dare you, I take my lawn care very seriously. Ram, please. You haven't seen a dog run through here, have you?
Okay. Well, a few hours ago I heard Maxwell barking at something. When I came outside, my garden had been torn to shreds. It's going to take forever to re-till the soil.
That could be a dog, or a rather feisty raccoon.
Whatever it was, it must have been hungry. Ate all of my tomatoes.
I'm very sorry to hear about your garden. If you need assistance restoring it to its former glory, please do not hesitate to contact me.
Hey. Will do, buddy. Good luck finding that dog.
She's probably still hungry. I wonder if she's looking for more food elsewhere. Coffee spoon. We head back inside the coffee spoon. Hey, Matt.
Guys, I think I might have seen that dog you were looking for.
Aye.
You did? A brown mastiff.
Size of a house?
Yeah, I saw it digging through the trash in the back. Ran away when I tried to get closer, though. Did you see what direction it ran in? Matt thinks for a second. That might have been running east, I think. That pup tore through 3 pans of old grateful banana bread. Want to take some for the road, just in case? Sure thing. Matt packages up a slice. Thanks for the slice. The road slice. This grateful banana bread is gonna be so good. I think he meant to give it to you for the dog. Right, I meant it's gonna be so good for the dog to eat. I feel like we're on the right track. You think? If we keep this up, we'll find the Duchess in no time. Hey, if you like dogs so much, why don't you have any? Lucien is severely allergic. I wouldn't put him through that. But there are still dogs in my life, so for that I'm grateful. There's about to be one more dog in your life, buddy. Splendid attitude. Let us not waste any more time. Verily. Alright, so we were at the coffee spoon. East is either the Bayside or the cul-de-sac. I'm gonna guess cul-de-sac. We arrive at the cul-de-sac to find everything looking normal, except... Uh-oh. Hugo's front door is wide open? Don't you dare. She can open doors. This is classic Duchess Cordelia. A telltale sign. You should approach with caution. Whatever goes down in there, I've got your back. We creep up onto the porch and step inside. Jeez. What? How big is that dog? There, sitting in the center of Hugo's living room like she owns the darn place, is one of the biggest dogs I've ever seen. Hopefully Hugo can have this place cleaned up. Well, actually, you know what? No, because we're going back in time anyway, so this will have never happened. Woof! Well, she hasn't broken anything in here yet. Wonderful. And all we have to do is get this leash on her before she tries to escape again and get out of here before Hugo comes home. Easy peasy. Duchess, come here. Duchess eyes Damien warily. As he approaches, she begins to growl. She's on the guard. We'll need another plan. Get her a dog treat. Try the softball. Give her the grateful banana bread. Grateful banana bread. Ooh, that's a lot of eggplants. Reach into my pocket and pull out the slice of grateful banana bread Matt gave me. Duchess sniffs the air and hones in on the bread. Come here, girl. Nice and easy. I've got some yummy homemade vegan and possibly gluten-free banana bread. That's what you're into. The Duchess cautiously approaches me and gives the bread a good sniff before gently taking it from my hand and dropping it on the ground, like dogs always do for some reason. She curls up and starts munching on the bread. Success! Damien walks up behind the Duchess and attaches the leash to her collar. She immediately notices and starts whining. It's time to go home now, Duchess. Damien gives a tug on the leash. She won't move. Duchess, what happened to our rapport? You and I used to be bosom buddies. She still doesn't move. She's huge. There's no way we could even try to lift her. Well, this is a weird situation to be in. I think we're literally trespassing in our friend's house with this large dog. What are you nerds doing? I knew it was Ernest. Ernest stands in the doorway with a plate of pizza rolls. Don't tell your dad about this. We're definitely not trespassing. What flavor of pizza rolls are those? We're definitely not trespassing. It looks like trespassing. Well, yeah. It just looks like that. Damien, what are we doing? Trespassing? You do me in like that? The Duchess notices Ernest and starts pulling against the leash. Why is this dog in my house? It's along. The Duchess suddenly breaks free from Damien's grip and hurtles towards Ernest. Ernest and the Duchess fall to the ground. Pizza rolls fly everywhere. This is bad. Ernest, are you okay? Ernest feeds the Duchess a pizza roll. Hey, she likes pizza rolls. Ernest sits up, but the dog keeps licking his face.
Oh, hey.
Hugo stands at the door, looking like he's at a loss for words.
Sweet Manchego!
What? Why are you guys... Whose dog is this?
It's a long story, but it involves a large dog who knows how to open doors.
Woof.
Hugo, may I present to you Duchess Cordelia?
I don't know.
How do you do?
Woof. We're friends. The Duchess looks at Ernest's face. She's from the local animal shelter. She got out and we've been chasing her all around town. Her house was her final stop. Dad, can we keep her?
Ernest, I don't know if we're set up to take care of a...
Huh?
Wait, did you just call me Dad?
Come on, please. Look how cute she is. Hugo sighs.
Oh.
We had been talking about adopting a dog for a while, but you have to promise me you'll take care of her.
Yeah, I'll give her all the pizza rolls her little heart desires. Suddenly remember what's on the back of this map and pull a pen out of my pocket. Got the forms ready for you if you're interested. Wait. Isn't cheese bad for dogs? Because in our last date, cheese, we were having cheese, but we were not supposed to give Robert's dog cheese. I don't know if cheese is bad for... I only know that grapes and chocolate are bad for dogs. Otherwise, I have no idea. I'll even waive the adoption fee since, we technically broke into your household.
Hey!
Well, alright, it's a deal.
Hugo steps onto the porch with us and signs the formal. Ernest plays with the Duchess inside, and while I step on a pine needle... why is there a pine needle in here? I hate my shoes. He sure seems to be happy with his new friend.
Oh!
I know, he called me Dad. Can you believe it?
Damien places a hand on Hugo's shoulder. I certainly can. I think this will be really good for Ernest. It should teach him some responsibility. You should probably look into getting better locks on your doors, though. The Duchess is a wily one, but do right by her and she'll love you two forever.
Thank you.
And long story short, the Duchess now lives in a happy home and neither of us were charged for breaking and entering. So all in all, I think it was a fine day's work. Nice work, you two.
Hey.
Ram, you could be a valuable asset to our team of volunteers, If you ever feel like petting some puppies, hit me up. Mary, I always feel like petting puppies. Good to know. Well, I'll catch you fellas later. Mary starts to leave. And one last thing. Damien's been telling me about you. Glad he finally brought you around. Oh yeah, Damien's my special boy. I love him. We go way back and I got a vested interest in his health, success, and well-being. If you ever heard him,
Mary?
you can fill in the blanks. I gulp. Yes, ma'am. Mary leaves me alone with Damien. So, about the whole goth thing. I, completely understand if you aren't interested in me anymore. What? Am I missing something here? I'm not a cool goth prince. I'm boring. I own 5 pairs of tennis shoes. I wear dumb glasses. Don't you care? I own tennis shoes and have dumb glasses. What's so wrong about that? You look so nervous. Damien, do you really think I only like you because of all the goth stuff? That's all cool, but the best thing about you is how passionate you are about the things you love. History, art, Victorian fashion, dogs, storage solutions. It doesn't matter what it is. You care, and that's awesome. And also the glasses are very cute. You don't think I'm boring at all? If you're boring, then I don't know what that makes me. I spend too much time online shopping for flashlights, get excited to mow my lawn on Saturdays, get cranky about commercials being too loud. I've been thinking about making my own peanut butter. Oh man, homemade peanut butter. And then maybe we can be boring together? It would never be boring if it was with you. Damien suddenly closes the gap between us and pulls me into a hug. He buries his face in my shoulder. His hair smells like lavender and rosemary. I was so scared you wouldn't like me. Quite the opposite. Geez, that cue looks a little bit weird. I'll let it slide. Damien pulls away for a second and looks me in the eyes. Without the colored contacts, his eyes are so dark and soulful. They look the same to me. May I kiss you? Of course. Does a bat have wings? Thou art welcome. Verily, you may take upon yourself the... You know what? Just kiss me. He smiles slightly and leans in, giving me a gentle kiss. Damien pulls away and gives me an intense look. Do you want to help me take care of the puppies? Yes. Damien and I arrive back at the cul-de-sac, our fingers intertwined. Like a proper gentleman, he walks me to my doorstep. This was lovely. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for everything. I'm very happy I can be myself around you. I'm glad, but I have one request. What's that? Can we keep sending each other letters? But of course. Damien kisses me one last time before turning around and heading home. Amanda runs back to the couch from the window and tries to look as nonchalant as possible. Hello, Father. I was sitting here on the couch this entire time. Hi, Amanda. So, are you guys, like, starting a vampire coven together? Oh, plot twist. Mothman. Damien's actually Mothman. I knew it all this time. He was the Mothman. He was Virgil. I didn't see it coming either. Genius. Well, whatever's happening, I'm really glad you two are happy. You deserve it, Dad. Aw, shucks. I'm gonna head to bed. Catch you in the morning? Sure thing. Make my way up to my room and fall into my bed with my heart full, excited for the days to come. Don't use metal utensils on non-stick frying pans. Death anxiety? Oh, I didn't have any data points.
That was the jammiest bits of jam. I'm not quite sure what that one means. I read it in an article once about the Victorian era.
That was the jammiest bit of jam. Interview with the vampire. Alright. Is there anything else? Nope, goes right into the epilogue. Anyway, we're going to go back to Dad Book, and...
Welcome. You've got dads.
Wow. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but the next episode is literally going to be the last episode with our dear friend Hugo Vega, who would have owned Duchess if not for me going back in time to before I went on that date with Damien. But anyway, that is going to be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!